Right. Good evening and welcome. This is the second in our series of speakers for the Ayurveda Biology webinar series. This is our effort at creating awareness amongst traditional medicinal practitioners as well as those who pursue research in biological sciences to understand the possibilities of combining modern biology and traditional medicine. Today's speaker is Dr. Prasanna Kulkarni. Rather than give his usual introduction, I will introduce him very personally. I know Dr. Prasanna Kulkarni for about 3.5 years now. And when I joined TDU, I did not know anything about Ayurveda. And I'm very fortunate to have met people like Dr. Kulkarni. Dr. Kulkarni was practicing at that point of time, and it still is associated with the Institute of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine, IAIM Healthcare. He's a practicing physician for over 30 years. And when I met him, we started to explore the area of dietetics in Ayurveda and how modern nutrition can be brought into it. And when I came in, I knew very little. And I have to thank him for introducing me to various topics. And also, he was one of the physicians who was so open about working with professionals from different backgrounds. I have often heard that working with physicians is difficult because they're obsessed with patient care, whereas we scientists are obsessed with results and evidence. But it was an absolute joy. And I'm very fortunate to call Dr. Kulkarni one of my mentors. And we quickly started to do programs, and he used to come and discuss his programs. And what struck me each time I spoke to Dr. Kulkarni is he never stops learning. He's forever bringing in new thoughts, new ideas based on his practice, based on what he sees the world around us. And it was perhaps pleasantly and not so surprising that when I spoke to him a couple of years ago, he said he was doing a degree in data science. And now he's taken that degree and applied it with a whole range of tools that he's created, the eDravya app and so forth, which hopefully he'll talk to us about. Again, demonstrating this fantastic idea that learning never stops. A physician has to evolve. And let us take the tools that are available to us in this age and this time and see how we can maximize it for practice, not just of traditional medicine, but medicine and healthcare in general. So with that rather personal introduction, I would like to invite Dr. Kulkarni to give his presentation.
Yeah, thanks, Megha. A warm good evening to all the participants for this webinar. So in fact, it's my pleasure to be in touch with Megha, Vishnu, and the team. Whenever I discuss with them, I come out with a newer thought, newer idea, and I always try to implement how best we can modify or take into our clinical practice. Yeah, fine. Having said that, can I able to share my screen? Okay. Yeah, I can share. Quickly, can I get the confirmation that my slides are visible?
Not yet.
Yet, Dr. Prasanna.
One sec. Now?
Yes.
Okay, fine then. Let me adjust this. Yeah. Fine. So today, what I'll be doing is, in fact, Dr. Vishnu told me that I can speak till 7:45, right, Vishnu? Yeah. I split whole of my presentation into two components. One, how best we can blend Ayurveda and data science. The second part of my presentation will be what best I'm trying from my end to mix this and see the better outcomes through Ayurveda. In fact, in Ayurveda, through data science, right? So let me quickly start this presentation. What is Ayurveda? I know you're all very much aware of this. You'll be knowing much more than me about this Ayurveda, its application in clinical practice. You have learned, and I presume that the participants are mostly from Ayurveda background. If any one of you are not from Ayurveda background, please let me know. Of course, there is no much Ayurveda into this presentation. It's more of data science application in Ayurvedic field. Any of the participants are from non-Ayurveda background? Okay, I presume the answer to be no. Fine. Okay, now you know about this Ayurveda. Now let's talk about data science. Before we understand data science, let me put a simple question. What is data? Many times we come across this word data in our routine practices. In simple terms, data is nothing but collection of unprocessed facts without any analysis or added interpretation. For example, if I give you the number x is equal to 1, this is data. The distance between Bangalore and Mysore is roughly around 180 kilometers. This is just a data, a number, a fact, right? Now, when we try to analyze this or extract some meaningful information from the given information or data, from given data, that is called as information. So when it comes for information, it should give some meaningful output. And when this information is processed to a next level, then it becomes knowledge. So when we talk about knowledge, it is nothing but the combination of experience of my domain or whatsoever I'm trying to understand or implement, information, whatever I have refined through data, and getting a different insights from these two with respect to my experience, with respect to the facts, the refined facts, whatever I'm having. When I try to merge them, that becomes the knowledge. And we acquire this knowledge through our experience, through our learning phenomena, so on and so forth. Now, what exactly is this data science? Technically, data science is defined as an interdisciplinary field. The word interdisciplinary means here we will be blending or mixing two different fields, which involves using various techniques and tools to extract insights and knowledge from the data, the information, whatever we are having. That's the meaning of data science. So wherever you want, you can apply this data science. Science and maths, yes. Science and business, yes. Business and healthcare, yes. Whatever you want, you can mix them to get better insights. This bridge where you mix two different domains for a better insights and knowledge, that is called as data science. It encompasses a wide range of topics that can be related with the statistics, machine learning, data mining, data visualization, and many more. Statistics, mostly you are all aware of the word statistics, mean, media, mode, blah, 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 right? So that's about the statistics. That's one of the component in this. Of course, I'm not a big fan of stat, even though I want to understand it a bit more and more. But whenever I learn stats, for a few months, I recollect everything. After that, slowly, I keep forgetting about stats. Machine learning. This is a wonderful domain. Machine learning, of course, it is a subset of artificial intelligence, AI. In our routine life, we started using this machine learning without our knowledge. Simple example. From Bangalore, I want to go to Mumbai. I take Google Map and I search. It will give me some options. By road, it takes this much of time. If you go by, say, by car, this much of time. By two-wheeler, this much of time. All the information it gives me. How the Google Maps are able to showcase this? Is it what the engineer traveled all the way from Bangalore to Mumbai and incorporated the information into that machine? No, maybe or may not be. So what happens in this machine learning is, here the computer itself will be learning many things with respect to the previous experience. Say, for example, I know the distance between Bangalore and Mumbai, the time taken to reach from Bangalore to Mumbai. What if I travel mostly by night hours? The traveling time will be different. Now, every time I search the duration that is required from Bangalore to Mumbai, the duration will be different because it calculates based on the time of my commencement of the journey. If I start Bangalore at late evening or early evening, the timing will be different. If I start early morning, the duration will be different, right? So it is not the engineer from the Google every now and then he traveled and he's inputted the data into that search engine. No, it will never happen. He has given some information and made the machine to learn. That is the meaning of machine learning. We will be understanding much more on this in one of the example, which I will take you through in the second part of the presentation. Data mining, data visualization, etc. This data mining is taking the data and channelizing them in a proper way so that I can get better insights. Data visualization, when I see the data with certain diagrams, which will give a beautiful insights, that's called as data visualization. A simple example is like I think you might have heard about a person, scientist named John Snow. He's in fact he's the father of modern epidemiology. During the in 17th century, when there was outbreak of cholera in London city, everyone was worried how the disease is spreading and why it is happening in London, why not in other place, so on and so forth. This person started collecting the information and came to know that there are certain hand pumps which got contaminated, and the people whoever are using the water from that hand pump source, they are getting affected with the cholera. When he presented this to the officials, they were not in a position to understand what he want to communicate. What he did is he took a paper, he made a map of the city, and he made the cluster of the patient distribution with different colors. That was very much appreciated. This is the simple example in which the data visualization have been used. Now we can present the same with bar charts, scatter diagrams, so on and so forth to get better insights, right? So we use this data science to analyze, interpret large and complex data set to discover the pattern, relationship, cause and effect. We can predict based on various like data, various columns, rows, whatever. Like it's simple thing. What you give, it will analyze and give the output through which you will get better insights. So it involves collecting and cleaning the data, processing it, and then applying various techniques to extract useful information. Now, these information, it can be pertaining to business, healthcare, government, blah, 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 blah. Here, I'm interested only in healthcare, right? So now, what exactly this data science do in healthcare? In healthcare, when we try to apply this data science, it can help us for proper disease diagnosis, and it will also help us to predict. Say, for example, if I give the inputs like fever, chills, burning maturation, then the system will give me the feedback that yes, there are chances of UTI or viral influenza or renal calculi, whatever. It will give the output as this diagnosis as the one of the outcome. Now, this is about the disease diagnosis. Now, prediction. Now, what is this prediction? That's what I was talking about, machine learning. So it will tell that 97% of the people with the same set of symptoms has been diagnosed with UTI, or 79% of the people with this set of symptoms have been classified as a case of viral influenza, something like that. So that will make me to understand which will be more appropriate for the set of symptoms for diagnosis, and it will also predict if this is not tackled at this stage of the disease, then these are the chances. Hope you all remember during the first and second wave of COVID, when there was a protocol that 7th day after patient getting admitted in ICU, either he need to get out of the ICU or his condition will worsen. I still remember these words by one of the experts whom I heard on one of the webinar, and it was very much true at that point of time. So these kind of predictions we will get, right? In fact, now my another project is on predicting diabetes based on lipid profile value. It may be bit weird kind of prediction, but still I want to go with that. If you give me a lipid profile of a person, then I will predict whether he can be a diabetic or he's suffering with diabetic or he's non-diabetic. At least this can be classified based on the lipid profile value. And for that, I'm using thousands of clinical information, right? So it will also help in personalized medicine for a proper treatment plan. It will be using the medical history part, the genetics part, as well as the lifestyle factors through which we can apply in personalized medicine domain in healthcare. Drug development, that will be one of the wonderful application using data science. So based on the various algorithm, it will mix match and come out with the newer formulation. The formulation can be with the mix match of the chemical components or with the mix match of the various herbs with certain criteria, whatever you give. I will take you through an example which I'm preparing, in fact, on this drug development part, right? Yeah, again, it can also help for analyzing the data from EHS, that is electronic health records, EHR, insurance claims and hospital operations. Yeah, that's more of management thing, which in fact, I'm not much interested when it comes for application of data science in healthcare. Public health surveillance. Yeah, we can use this for various outbreaks, epidemic predictions in those domains. Now, overall, in healthcare domain, we can apply this data science to improve patients' outcome. We can also reduce the costings when we apply it in a very stringent way, not only for management, but also for various other aspects, advancing medical research as well as for development. This is how we can, in very simple words, this is how we can apply data science in healthcare. Now, data science in Ayurveda. When it is applicable in healthcare, why not it can be used in Ayurveda? In fact, in Ayurveda, we are very much, or in fact, we are badly in need of this application in Ayurveda. Why? Because usually we do the diagnosis based on Roga Pariksha and Rogi Pariksha, and there are several factors involved in this. Dosham, Dusham, Balam, Kalam, and for everyone there, for every factor, there are various variables. It will be theoretically difficult or hard possible for a physician to understand all these parameters and come to conclusion, because our brain is having limited memory storage capacity, whereas the external device like laptop or servers, I can store whatever I want. Sky is the limit over there. And hence, in Ayurveda, it is the need of the time to apply the concept of data science to understand Roga and Rogi Pariksha in a better way. In planning the treatment, physician has to consider all these criteria. Like based on all those factors, I need to choose the drugs. Choice of my treatment also depends on that, and suggesting do's and don'ts in terms of ahara and vihara. That also matters. And hence, if I use it in a refined way, in a more analytical way, then I can have a better outcome in my clinical expertise, right? So what and all it can use? Distillation of ancient Ayurvedic text. I think some of you are aware of this E-Charaka, E-Shushuta, Samhitas, online Samhitas. Now I'm planning to come out with E-Samhita. I have compiled all the 9 Samhitas of Ayurveda. Of course, I'll be talking much more on in my journey. So if I give one term, say for example, Shula, one simple term Shula, it will search across 9 classical textbooks of Ayurveda. Lagutra, Brautra, Kashyapa Samhita, right? Yoga Ratnakara. In all those Samhitas, it will search wherever this word Shula is there, and it will give the outcome with respect to the page number. Now I want to refine that, taking it to the next stage, in which chapter, in which sthana, in which shloka number, I want that outcome should come. I'm working on that through a concept called NLP, natural language processing. It takes its own time to understand and to implement. But of course, I will try my best to reach that stage. Ayurvedic software for diagnosis and treatment purpose. This also I will be explaining in the second part of the presentation. Analysis of Ayurvedic data, whatever the data information you collect, for the better understanding of that, we can apply data science in Ayurveda field. So in broader sense, we can apply at academic levels to E-Samhitas, which will give us a concrete idea where this concept has been explained in the classical textbooks of Ayurveda. I will be talking on this Yidravya in my personal journey, right? And of course, E-Roga. I will be throwing much more light on this second part of the presentation. Clinical practice, apart from academics, in clinical practice, how do you think other like application which I have come out with, that's called e-chikitsa. I will showcase that also, the application in clinical practice, how best we can do with data science. HMS, hospital management software, that is my future project. I'll be taking you through that one also. Of course, in research, the sky is the limit when we try to implement or blend the Ayurvedic information as a part of data science. Sky is the limit when it comes for research. Now, in pharma industry, of course, we have too much of application, drug discovery. Of course, with the example of Yidravya, I will explain that. In pharma industry, again, sky's the limit to come out with a newer formulation. Whatever the current healthcare industry, pharma industries are doing, we can do much more when we start analyzing these concepts of Ayurveda in that domain, right? This is about a brief description of data science in Ayurveda. For a couple of minutes, I will stop sharing the slides. After this, I'll be going for the second part where I'll be like discussing my journey into the data science, how I'm trying my best to blend Ayurveda and data science. I will take you through. Before that, if you have any quick question, please feel free to ask, or else we can skip the Q&A session right now. Whatever the question you have, you can like hold it. At the end of the second part, we can discuss. Option is yours, whichever.
I encourage our participants to ask questions, because this is a very informal seminar, and let's just wait for 2 minutes. Dr. Kulkarni has told us very briefly and nicely about data science. So any question, how about the technique, or where you see it being applicable? Sir, I think you should continue.
Fine. Okay. If you come across any questions, please make a note of that. We will be discussing after another 10-15 minutes. Maybe I may take another 20 minutes of time, because this is the application of the data science in the field of Ayurveda. I'll be taking much more time now, because all this time we were discussing about the theoretical aspect. Now, let me start with clinical application of data science in our domain. One second, let me start sharing my screen. Okay, so before I start this aspect, once again, let me quickly confirm, are my slides visible? Okay, fine. What happened around 4 years back, Dr. Vishnu and his team conducted one workshop at TDU. It was on real world database related how best we can extract the knowledge of Ayurveda and prove with respect to some clinical insights, right? Vishnu, can I confirm that from you? Do you remember that workshop?
And, and I mean, it was basically the hospital conducted that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But I think you are the main coordinator for that, right? Yeah.
No, I was part of that.
Fine. See, what happened? I'll quickly recap whatever happened at that time. So a group of technology background people came, and they want to analyze the data of diabetic patients treated at that center. And they took some like diabetic cases, they have filtered certain things with certain criteria, like a patient of diabetes who is suffering for more than a year, who is on treatment with that center for more than 6 months, whose HbA1c has been dipped by at least 1%, whose HbA1c was more than 7 at the commencement of Ayurvedic medication. With all this protocol, with all these criteria, they have compiled some information, and they arrange a workshop so that they want us to understand how the case sheets, whatever we at that time used to enter the information of the patient on a paper, on a system, how best it can be visualized. That was a really eye opener for me. I come across a lot of interesting facts, because as a practitioners, we have the habit of prescribing medicines for whomsoever we come across. We hardly document. But my sincere suggestion to you is, please keep on documenting. And if you come across, better digitalize it. You will get a lot of better insights in later part of your clinical practice. Now, one of the statement what they used, that was the turning point in my life. The presenter, with respect to all this data analysis, he told that I have used, means the physician over there have used around 75 medicines to treat cases of diabetes. For those roughly around 250 or 300 cases were there. That number 75 was surprising for me. I know medicine what I write. Even if you ask me to enlist all the anti-diabetic medications as we use from that pharmacy, I can hardly recollect 20 or 25. Now the number was 75 on the screen. I requested them, can you please show me the list of medicine? Then when they displayed the medicine, everyone started laughing. Why? Because for them, when it went for analysis, Nishamalaki, NISHAMALAKI, one medicine, NISAMALAKI, second medicine, NISA apostrophe Amalaki, third medicine. Like that, one Nishamalaki, one classical preparation of Nishamalaki was presented with 5 brands. Of course, it is not their mistake, neither the mistake of our pharmacist, whoever have dispensed. Whichever the pharma has promoted that product with those spellings, with those hyphens, the same thing was being maintained in our data. Then I realized that if a person who does not have domain knowledge of Ayurveda, if he wants to translate that, then all such hiccups will be there. So I thought, yes, that is the high time for me to understand this domain and apply in the field of Ayurveda. So that was a turning point in my life. And then I started learning data science from IIIT Bangalore, International Institute of Information Technology Bangalore. Now during my course over there, the assignment given to me was identifying a credit card fault detector, or whom we should not give home loan. I used to go mad. Why, being an Ayurvedic physician, I have to scratch my head for such problems? Later I understood, yes, this is the way how we start learning, right? When we were very young, during our school period, we always taught A for apple, B for ball. Now, when we entered the field of Ayurveda, we realized A for Ayurveda, B for Bela Samhita, something like that, right? So our teacher taught us the basic fundamental things at that stage. Later, we started applying it in different domains. The same thing happened at that point of time. Then I started understanding this data with more and more insights, with such examples. The first thing that struck my mind is the simplest data that made me to think. Of course, that is not my domain, but still I started doing that is Dravya Guna, right? Now, why Dravya Guna? Because that was a subject which we used to learn, like MMS, Madhura Madhura Shita. These are the drugs which have Madhura Rasa, Shita Virya, Madhura Vipaka, those kind of things. I think you can still remember your college days, right? So I thought, why not the same thing can be analyzed through this? That was my first question. So I started, of course, I took help from some of my favorite students. I asked them to help me out. All of us, we started translating the properties of drugs into an Excel sheet. Till that time, I never come across Dravya Guna being written in Excel, Microsoft Excel. I did that. Then it was the data set of about, first initially we started with 120 drugs, all detailed drugs of Dravya Guna. Later we expanded to 250. Now the data set is of 300 drugs. Now, of course, the basic question has not yet come now. First, I have compiled, I have translated the information like Rasa in 5 columns, Guna in say 4 to 5 columns, Virya in 1 column, Vipaka in 1 column, Rogagnata in 10 columns, Doshagnata in 1 column, and Karmukatha in 10 to 15 columns. Like that, we started typing. And of course, at that time, n number of challenges were there. Now I know how to overcome that. The same problem, Nishamlaki, the same I started facing. One of my student typed Lagu as Laghu, the other one was Lagu, the other person L capital Aghu, the other one all in caps. Of course, by that time I learned the art of modifying using all those tools in simple Excel sheet. That was not the basic question. That was just a collection of information. The question was, can I able to predict the doshic property of a given unknown substance? I know only rasa or maybe guna or maybe vipaka. Of course, I know it is difficult to know the vipaka. Is it possible to understand the doshic effect of a given substance with these available parameters? That was the question. Yes. So what I did now, that credit card fraud detector, those kind of regression model. Okay, this comes under logistic regression. Of course, there are some other models like tree models, decision tree, random forest models. So what I did is I made the machine to learn if rasa is this, guna is this, vipaka is this, then this should be the doshagnata. I made the machine to learn. Machine learned to predict if these are the components, then this should be the doshic effect of the herb. Like that, I trained the machine, then I tested it. After that, what I did, I published in a platform called Kaggle, Kaggle. This is a platform where people from artificial intelligence and machine learning experts, they keep on searching, they comment, they critics, whatever the code or other things available on that platform. So I felt very happy that I was able to do one machine learning prediction first time in the field of Ayurveda. I published it. For my surprising, for next 2 months, there was not even a single comment, because the person who knows machine learning, he could not validate the doshic prediction significance because he hardly have any exposure for that. And the people of Ayurveda are not aware of that Kaggle platform. Then I realized, okay, this is not the way how it is going to work. I thought of applying it in some other way. Now, of course, that machine learning model I have not disclosed as of now, but what I have made available is the application of this in understanding the drugs. Say, for example, if you ask me, is it possible to get the details of a drug which is having Madhur Rasa, Ushna Virya, Shita Vipaka, or Shita Virya, Katu Vipaka? Yes, I can definitely give you that. For that, let me demonstrate. Once again, I need confirmation that my slides are, my screen is visible.
Yeah,
is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Of course, this is the same. eDravya app is available on Play Store. You can go and download there. Or else, if you are having iPhone, you can visit this website and you can assess it. For that, all first sign in, sign up should be done. Okay, search drugs by criteria. Now, if I want to select a set of drugs or a group of drugs with some common variables, say I want to search drugs that are having Lagu Guna. It's very easy. Now I select Lagu and I click on submit. In my data set, there are 200 drugs that are having Lagu Guna. Say, for example, Agastya is one of them. If I click on Agastya, I will get its Latin name, its Guna, Virya, Vipaka. And here I have given this external link wherein it will take you to Envis. That is a website created by TDU. And of course, now it is not working. I don't know. I thought of talking this with the IT people. Somehow, I don't know.
We are just renewing the domain name, Dr. Kulkarni. It will
I
be,
think, yeah. I need to adjust that in the data set.
Name has been, there's some the domain name.
Yeah, I will do that work. So it will take to Envis website where you can see the image of this Agastya. and where and all in country that plant is distributed, what are its trade names, in which under long language, what it is addressed as. So all that information you will get. So this is one simple application in which I can get drugs by Lagu. Now, let me expand that. L-A-G-H-U, Lagu. I will click Lagu. Along with Lagu Guna, okay, let me add one more Guna. Okay, so along with Lagu, Ruksha, fine, because this is a very common gunas what we come across in herbs, right? If you remember earlier, the output was 118. Now the output is 118. Sorry, 200. Now the output is 118. Like this, you can play around. Now what I will do is I will expand the search. I will make it as Lagu. Select one more. Ruksha. Select. Now I want specific rasa. Now which rasa? Let me select Kashaya rasa. And of course, Virya. Let me select Ushna Virya. Vipaka. So let me select Katu Vipaka. Right? And if required, I can select Dosha Karmukata. What I will do is, I will go for Tridosha Shamaka. And I will click on submit. With all these criteria, Lagu and Ruksha Guna, Kashaya Rasa, Ushna Virya, Katu Vipaka, Tridosha Shamaka, there are 3 drugs, Bilva, Gambari and Patala. Now imagine if I give this task to any BMS person or even Dravaguna MD professional with this criteria, can you come out with the drugs? I'm pretty sure that he will take not less than a day. Right? Hope you agree with me. So that's the beauty of understanding data and presenting in this form. Now, for better clinical application, what I did is I've given the action over here. Now, I want to play around. There is a case of Madhumeha. Okay. He is also having Kushta. Right. I want a drug that will act on Madhumeha and Kushta with very specific Madhur Rasa. Right. Is it possible for the engine to search? Let's see. Yes, there are 14 drugs which are having their action on Madhumeha as well as Kushta with Madhur Rasa. Like that, you can refine Madhur Rasa, Madhur Vipaka, Tridoshagna property. Like this, like that, you can play around whatever you want. Now, going forward, what I'm planning to do, my future project I'm sharing with you people. Now, I want to add chemical composition to this. Let me quickly open the data set. I'm working on that. It's not fully prepared. This is how it takes too many man hours to prepare. Okay, so from, okay, let me first unhide this. Yeah, this is how the things have been prepared. Latin name, English name, action. These are all the action, different actions of the given herbs. Okay, now what I'm doing is, so now what I'm doing is, I'm compelling their pharmaceutical action, the pharmacognosy action, right? Say for example, I will quickly take you to this Agastya. We spoke about that Agastya, right? Now, this is the information what I got from pharmacognosy textbook. I have written all those things. These are the chemical compositions that are present in the different parts of that plant. Like in flowers of Agastya, we will see all these things. Like in leaves, we see this. In seeds, we see this. Now, what I'm planning to do is, I want to prepare a drug which is going to act on this condition, which is having this chemical composition, maybe say phytoestrogen. I want the drugs that are having phytoestrogens, right? And at the same time, it should be Pitta Shamaka. Bit crazy, right? But still, I want to go with that. Now, when I enter all this information, see, now this is bit tricky. That is the reason now I started learning NLP, natural language processing. It will extract the information from this particular cell. It will search whether phytoestrogen is present. It will search across, and it will go to the some other cells where this Doshaknata property is there. Then it will give me the product as these drugs with their Latin name have phytoestrogens along with Pitta Shamaka property, or maybe tannin with Kapha Vata Shamaka property, which will be a very good product for me to tackle bronchial asthma. Okay, now for each drug information for me to prepare, it takes not less than 45 minutes. For every single herb, I'm spending around 45 minutes time. Till now, I reached around 95. Which one? There. Yeah, till this yellow, 96. I'm able to compile the information of pharmacognosy till 96 drugs. Another 200 plus are to go. After that, I will run an algorithm which will give me the information about the query what I am searching. Okay, this is the beauty of data science. You can search whatever you want. That's one of my, of course, I took a help of an mobile app developer. The same coding, I learned Python language. The same coding what I have developed on using Python, that got translated into PHP programming language. Now that is working at the backend on the mobile as well as system to throw all this like information. The same thing I tried with eRoga. Now, when I launched this eDravya, the surprising thing was people told that, okay, we passed Dravya, we don't want to use it. Now, I started thinking, okay, I have to come out with a product which will be helpful for a clinician. So I come out with this eRoga. Now, what exactly is eRoga? eRoga is symptom analyzer application in Ayurveda, which I have developed. So again, this is another tool. What you can do here is, of course, this is also available on Play Store. Of course, iOS, people using iPhones, they are, I don't know why Apple platform taking too much of time to allow this kind of app to get published over there. But still, I'm unable to launch in iStores. For iStore mobile holders, you can visit this site and explore the same on your mobile handsets. So here, symptom analyzer. Say, for example, I'm having a case, any one from the groups to just break the monotonous. I want you to take some common clinical condition, what you come across in your clinical practice. Please unmute yourself and give me a term, any symptom in Ayurveda, just to break the monotonous.
Come on, I can see so many of our students here.
Janushulam.
Janushulam, okay. I don't know whether the Janushulam is there or not. Okay, Janu Sandhiruk is there. Janu Sandhi Shofa is there. Janu Sankocha. Yeah, Janushula is here. Let me select Janushula and I will go down, submit. As per the data set which I have created, there are 3 conditions where word Janushula is there. Janu Vedana is different. Janu Shofa is different. Janu Toda is different. But with the word Janushula, there are 3 conditions. One is Pakwa Vatika Atisara, Parihara Kale Ati Chankramana, and Parihara Kale Maituna. These are the 3 clinical entities where you come across Janushula. And these are the other 17 symptoms pertaining to that with this reference. Charaka Chikitsa 19th chapter, 5th shloka. These are all the symptoms, one symptom, and it's translated English term. So here you can see Janushula, pain in knees. It is present, right? So now I will show you the beauty of this eRoga application. What I will do is, some of the words I'm trying to refine this data set a lot. there are 3,000 clinical conditions, including this Nanatmaja Vadis. There are 3,000 data set with more than 6,000 terms. I'm trying to minimize the terms. Some of the terms which I have minimized, I will, with that example, I will show you. Say, for example, I'm having a case of Jwara. If I submit it, okay, before I submit, can any rough number in how many clinical condition you can come across Jwara as mentioned in Ayurvedic classics? Any rough number? Okay, fine. Maybe 15, 30, 50. Okay, let me see what my machine says. It is 235. In 235 clinical conditions as explained in Ayurvedic classics, we have Jwara either as a Pururupa or as a Rupa or as a Arishta or as a Upadram. Right? These are all the condition. And again, by clicking on that condition, you will get other information pertinent to that. Okay, like on Pratishaya. Yes, these are all the symptoms pertinent to Pratishaya. These are the reference for Pratishaya. This is how the other symptoms are present. Now, let me make it a bit complex. There is a case of Jwara. Okay, I need to select only from drop-down box. Along with Jwara, there is, say, Kasa, which we commonly encounter in our clinical practice. Yeah. Along with Kasa, there is Shwasa. Right? With these three combination, let me see how many clinical entities are there. There are 21 clinical entities with these three symptoms. Okay, this is the list of the same. And if you click on each one of them, you will get all the information. Of course, there is no Taratama Bhava. Even in Rana, you have all this condition. Of course, in Rana, this Jwara or Kasa or Shwasa may not be the predominant, but still, as explained in Ayurvedic classics, it is present. Right? Like the same, you can play a lot. Like you can search the symptom with respect to the department. I want to see a case of Shirashula with respect to Shalya Tantra clinical condition. Yes, you can search. I want to see Shirashula as one of the Upadrava of Chikitsa Apachara. Yes, you can have the option of selecting the treatment related. Select Jwara, you will get that. Now, if you want, you can search the symptom with Avastha also. Say, for example, there is a Kasa. I want to understand whether this Kasa is in Pururupa, Rupa, or in Arishta Lakshana. Click any one of them, submit, you will get that. So this is how you can play. The other beauty of this application is I started compiling shlokas. Okay, say for example, I want to understand which one, any disease. Okay, Sandigata. Okay, not Sandigata, Kamala. Okay, the commonest clinical condition. I will click here. There are 9 entities in Ayurveda where Kamala word is there as the disease entity. One is Kamala, Postashrita, Kumbhashrita, Shakashrita. Okay, so if I click on this, these are all the reference. If I click on this, you will get the shloka as explained in that. If I click on this, you get the shloka as explained in Charaka Chikitsa. If I click on this in Shishuta Uttara Tantra, if I click on this here, if I click on this here, if I click on this, I will get what Madhav Nidana has mentioned in 8th chapter, 16 to 18 shloka. Of course, this is in testing phase. I need to refine some this thing has happened. I will show you the data set, which is a very vast one. This is how my works keeps on going every day. I'll just show you. Now I want to come out with a lot of refinement in this e-Roga application that is in pipeline. I'll be okay. So these are all. This is how I work with this Excel sheet. So here I will be like typing the shlokas, copy pasting the shlokas from different textbooks with reference. I will be putting over here. Okay, there are more than 6,000 shlokas till now I have compiled, and it is available on that platform. Okay, this is another application of using data science. Now, when I launched this e-Roga, again, some of my friends, they were having the same question. What for my clinical application? Either way, it's of no use for me. Roga, yeah, I for some extent theoretical, I can understand what the disease is about. Now, how about the clinical application? That made me to think out to come out with e-chikitsa. This is my another app wherein you will get the classical formulation based on your search. Let me show you this app, medicine for disease. Okay, say for example, I have a case of, say, I will take the same Jwara Shwasakasa. Okay, first let me show you the simple one. If I click on Jwara and submit it here, okay, there are 666 formulation in this data set. For Jwara, there are 185 medicines available, right from Ananda Bhairav Ras. Okay, if I click on Ananda Bhairav Ras, I will get in which form it is there, what are the precaution contraindication as mentioned in EDL, essential drug list, the reference, the dose, Anupana, and Falashruti as given in Rasendra Sarasangraha. Right? Like the same, Arogyavardhini Vati, right? Pranada Gutika. You will get all such references that can be given for Jwara. Right? Now, I have a situation where a patient of mine who is having Jwara wants to take only tablets. Okay, I will click on Vati Gulika. I will come down. I will submit. From 185, now it gets filtered to 25. These are the medicines, but in Vati form that can be given to a case of Jwara. Right? So like this, you can play around. Now, I'm a big fan of some of the textbook. Say, for example, for the same Jwara, what I will do is, of course, you can search with respect to single herb, polyherbal or herbomineral or mineral preparation. I will skip that search. Now, this Jwara is, I want to get the formulation with respect to Sahasra Yoga, where Falashruti is Jwara. I submit. Yes, there are 8 formulation as per Sahasra Yoga where Jwara is indicated. These are medicine where Jwara is indicated. Okay. So like this, you can play around. The best part of this app is mix matching the symptoms. Say, for example, I'm having a case of Jwara. He is also having, say, Penasa. And along with Penasa, he is having Shirashula. Quite common, right? Yeah. Now, what I will do, I will submit. This is the beauty of this app. There are 185 medicines for Jwara, 14 for Penasa, 14 for Shirashula, 4 for Jwara and Penasa. If I click on this, these are the 4 medicines like Stringabhaka Ras, Bharangi, Kantakari, single herbs, and Shatphala Dhruta. These 4 medicines can be given when the patient is having Jwara and Penasa. These 3 medicines can be given when the patient is having Jwara and Shirashula. And with Penasa and Shirashula, there is only 1 medicine, that is Twak. Whereas there are no medicine with these 3 as combination, that is 0 output. Like that, with some common indications. Say, for example, Kushta, okay, say Jwara, and say Kasa. Okay, if you give the search option, yes, you will get. See, there are 24 medicine which are indicated for Kushta, Jwara, and Kasa. Of course, most of them are single herbs. Some of them are polyherbal preparation like Shatvimshatika Gugulu and Narayana Churna. If you click on that, you'll get the other information pertaining to that. This is how this e-chikitsa works. Of course, there are too many things to be incorporated in all these applications. Of course, there are no proprietary medicines. I'm planning to come out with that in due part of my journey with data science in Ayurveda. Yeah, this is, I will take another 3 minutes and I will conclude. My future project is on CDSS in Ayurveda. CDSS is Clinical Decision Support System. Now, whatever things I told, it is nothing but the memory. The things which I have stored in the system, It has thrown that result. Now I want to come out with CDSS in Ayurveda. Now what exactly I mean by the CDSS? Suppose, as you know that the confidence levels for a BMS graduate or maybe PG graduate, postgraduate in Ayurveda, even after spending sufficient time, is not very high when he wants to practice Ayurveda alone. Why? Because of his or her own threat, right? What if I tell you that I will give a software which is having the information pertaining to the experienced Vaidyas? Yes, that is what this clinical decision support system is about. So for example, I will create this site. I will go and meet tens of doctors for that particular disease. Say for example, Madhumeha. I will sit with one person who is well versed in diabetes management through Ayurveda. I will ask him a question. What are your drugs of choice in Madhumeha? And I will list them. For males and females, is there any difference? I will make a list. With respect to age criteria, is there any difference? I make a list. With respect to seasons, are there any difference? I make a list. What if a patient has developed diabetes as a result of genetic influence? I will make a list. With respect to stress influence, if at all any answers are given by that Vaidya, I will make a list. I will prepare the data set. Now I will go to Dr. B, second Vaidya. I will ask him the same set of questions. He will give the answers. I will make a document. I will go to C Vaidya. Like that, I will add. Now, I will give a software to a practitioner where he will start writing the symptoms. Patient complaints of diabetes or Madhumeha or increased blood sugar. Just by seeing these words on his left-hand side, there will be E-Roga. Where and all, you see the condition where there is Madhuryata. Right? On right-hand side, there will be list of medicine, which and all medicine, that is E-Chikitsa, which and all medicine can be given for Madhumeha. When I keep on adding the different filters, like there will be age in that case sheet, there will be a gender, there will be associated symptoms, and in history, I will be mentioning patient developed diabetes as a result of loss of a family member or something like that. Then it will filter, and it will give the prediction like 95% of the physicians in whatever the data set has used this medicine with this much of efficacy. 13 physicians have used this medicine with 75% efficacy rate. Like the time taken to reach from Bangalore to Mumbai, which I quoted in the initial part of my presentation. Like the same, this machine, with respect to the algorithms, it will give the output with all those details. The single herbs that I mentioned in e-Chikitsa, those single herbs will be worked at the back end, and it will come out with proprietary preparation. Yes, this medicine, this brand XYZ from this company is having that herb as one of the prominent ingredient, right? So he can prescribe. And it will not finish over there. When the patient comes, when he just clicks that, he need to just tick Anupana and the number of times, everything will be prefixed. He will be having every chance to modify. He will modify, right? He will give the prescription for say 15 days, 30 days, 50 days, whatsoever. When he comes back, again, machine will the first question will be asked with machine for the follow-up. How do you rate the success for the medicine you have prescribed? Like your Google map asking how much satisfied you are with the smileys from sad face to happiest face. Now the physician will click. Whoever has used that machine learning algorithm, either it can be better experience or no change or improvised. Again, the machine will take it as a punishment or reward. Again, it will run at the back end to learn much more and more. So this is my future project. It will take its own time. I'm not bothered about the time. Let it take 2 years, 1 year. I don't mind, but I will come out with such application in the system of fire. So with this, I want to conclude that this is a big domain. Start learning such tools. It will definitely help you in your clinical practice. It will give a very good gift to the field of Ayurveda. Of course, in olden days, our acharyas were too intelligent to analyze all those amshamsha kalpanas. They were highly skilled to understand all the logic and come out with the medicine. But in this present era, with respect to our lot of other things, our memory has come down from TB to GB, GB to MB. I don't know when we will reach to KB. In such times, this softwares will be very much handy for us, right? So, and it is rightly mentioned in Rigveda that Anoho Badra Kurjoyantu Vishwataha, let the noble thoughts comes to us from all over the world. Let us use them in our field for the betterment of Ayurveda and humanity. With this, I conclude my session. Thank you so much for your patience hearing. Now, I will hand the stage to Vishnu or Megha, whosoever.